Hi, I'm Kelsey, and I looked into the position of a purchasing manager. Just a brief overview about the position. The purchasing manager oversees the work of the buyers and the purchasing agents of the company. Their department really has a direct impact on the cost and the sales of the company. An Apex case study revealed that there are 225 incremental tasks that a purchasing manager has to keep the buying process moving. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates that the average annual wage for a purchasing manager is a little over $120,000. And then the 4 skills that are really required for this type of position relate to management skills, of course, purchasing, contracts, and analytics. Just a little bit more about the position. The direct reports of a purchasing manager are responsible for buying raw materials, component parts, finished goods for resale, or services to support the company. And they're really looking to find the most appropriate quality for what they're doing at the lowest cost to create the best value. I interviewed a previous purchasing manager for a company here in New York called Precision Custom Components, and they are heavily involved in the defense industry. And his name was Curtis. So he mentioned that this position really doesn't have any typical day-to-day experiences. He spent a lot of his days in meetings with either managers, direct reports, or suppliers. And the suppliers was something that he really focused on. He spent his time 2 to 3 times a week. He met with suppliers, just kind of going over potential business plans or any issues that came up in areas of like quality or performance. And then this really ties in with managing the vendor relations. He was only really involved with any of the high value purchases of the company, and he would kind of focus on the analysis that he had to do. So in terms of any metrics that they looked at, the schedule, so what was coming up that the buyers and purchasing agents needed to plan for, and he needed to communicate these to his direct reports. And then the short-term and long-term supply chain planning that he was involved with. The skills required to support these day-to-day activities are just a really thorough understanding of what the industry is that they're working in and the company's strategy and how he can manage his direct reports and accomplish his work to support these. And of course, as I mentioned kind of previously, relationship building is a big part of this job. The written and verbal communication skills are really important, and these also tie in with the negotiation skills that you'll build up throughout the career path to get to this position, which I'll touch on next. From the job postings that I looked at that are current from like Glassdoor and Indeed, I found some like experience requirements that many of them indicated, and these are just kind of ranges that I put together from multiple different ones. So some require 5 to 10 years of contract or purchasing experience, and then 2 to 5 years of management, leadership, or supervisory experience. And then of course, experience with like Microsoft products and also MRP and ERP are essential. So I'm going to touch on the career path that Curtis took, but this is something that will probably be different compared to somebody with a bachelor's or a master's degree. He started out at a sheet metal fabrication company, and he was at first doing like CAD designs and just had a lot of hands-on experience with their process and also the machine parts. So they were looking for somebody to move up into a buyer position, and he kind of just fit that position because he had the hands-on experience and he knew the machine parts. So he was a buyer there, and then he also went to another company and was a buyer there. So that these 2 companies totaled to 3.5 years. And then he moved to PCC, and he was here for 2.5 years. And then he went to a group leader role in the purchasing department for 2 years, and then he moved up into the purchasing manager role, and he is still with this company today. And then there are several organizations that offer certifications that are really beneficial for somebody in this position or somebody that's looking to move into this position. Curtis he went to classes for the CPP. So they are the Institute for Supply Management, the American Purchasing Society, and of course Apex. So there are several certifications that one can complete through these organizations. Any questions?